Okay guys, before we get started, here's the question or tip of the day. Same one as the last time. Did you shower today, Yu-Gi-Oh player? Yu-Gi-Oh player, I'm looking at you. Did you shower today? If you did not, please pause this video. Go take a shower. I can smell you through the lens. You can't be like Perfumer. You can't just spray yourself down with some Axe body spray and be like, yo, we're good. I can still smell you, my guy. I can still smell you. What's up, everybody on YouTube? It is your boy, Isaac, and today we have, of course, a new video, but we kind of a series, I guess you could say. I was unable to get registered for YCS Pasadena, but I did get registration and time off of my job to go to YCS Las Vegas. Yes, you heard it here first. We are high rollers. So what does that mean? That means we have to figure out what deck we're gonna play. This deck that I have constructed. I don't think anybody has a deck anywhere near. Is my camera sliding? I don't think anybody on YouTube has a deck built quite like mine. I'm not saying it's good and I'm not saying it's bad, but we're gonna do our best, our very best, to make Harpy Tri-Brigade or pure Harpies YCS. We're gonna try to top as well. Sounds crazy, yes. But what we're gonna do, I'm gonna give you this deck profile, of course. It's probably gonna be a deck profile you have seen before if you've been on this channel, but if you have not, welcome again. If you're new here, thank you for coming. Please subscribe, please leave a comment. Let me know if you're going to YCS Las Vegas, if you're going to YCS Pasadena, any kind of thing like that. Somebody calling me? Let me know what deck you're playing and what deck you think is gonna top. That being said, what I wanna do is kind of build a community, get this channel off the ground. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you this deck profile. And I'm gonna take people's advice. We're gonna build this deck together. And to the 40 or 400 people, by the time I get to YCS Las Vegas, we'll have a deck built and manufactured by the people. But if you give me some doo-doo water, then I'm just gonna make the deck on my own. So. But with that being said, I'll switch the camera over. Again, this is not a deck profile that you have not seen before. A couple tweaks, but this is gonna be the canvas. This is gonna be the first deck that we see, the starting point. So if there's anything you would like me to take out, or you would suggest that I add, please just let me know down below, and then we'll see what we can do. We're also gonna hop onto EDO Pro, not EDO Pro, because I don't want to install that. Dueling Nexus is fine for me, maybe even Dueling Book, but we're gonna hop on there, we're gonna play some duels with the decks that you build, because of course there are certain cards that I don't have on me at the moment, but if we're gonna test those cards, we might as well do it somehow. So, yeah. With that being said, I'm gonna switch you guys down below, and yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so we're gonna hop right into this. A couple things I wanted to mention before I start. Of course, we don't know the meta. We don't know the meta in a month. We don't know the meta. I mean, we kind of know the meta right now, but even then, like, it's really hard to determine. We have things like Sword Soul, things like Tri-Brigade, things like Birds with Tri-Brigade, things like a little bit of Splash Zodiac Tri-Brigade, even though that's kind of irrelevant at this point. We have things like Destiny Hero, Phoenix Enforcer Turbo, things like that. Phantom Knight's doing really well. So most people base their decks off of their own locals, but at YCS Las Vegas, we're going to have a plethora of different decks. We're going to have Grand Maju. We're going to have S-Force. We're going to have all types of shit. We're going to build this to the best of our ability and adjust as the meta continues, because we do also have a set or two as well as a ban list before the YCS Las Vegas. I'm going to go ahead and hop into the Tri-Brigade engine. It's pretty standard, of course, as you have seen plenty times before. We run 3 Fracky Fractals, pitch it, send any Wing Beast, Beast Warrior to the graveyard, and of course you're going to send your 3 copies of Kit. Kit also, when sent to the graveyard, you can send a Beast Warrior Wing Beast to the graveyard. And then you're going to send Nerval. Nerval will add a Wing Beast Warrior to the hand. Pretty standard. And then we play the standard 2 Karass. Right now, of course, this is the standard. I feel like in the ban list, if they hit anything, they might drop Fractal to 1. Maybe they drop it to 2. But of course, this is what this is here for you guys, to help me. And I help you, just in case you guys want to play something like this. But this is the Tri-Brigade, 2 Fractal, 3 Nerval, 2 Kit, or 3 Kit, and 3 Fractal. Karass, 2 Karass, sorry. Okay, and as far as the Harpy engine, I think, people like Lyrilisk a little bit more. I kind of like Lyrilisk a little more because they could just spam a fucking monster on the board, like, for free. With Harpies, you kind of have to dedicate a normal summon, but sometimes you can kind of find your way around that. So we run 3. This is, you know, you guys have seen this deck profile before, but if you haven't and this is your first time, we run 3 Harpy Channeler. I do need 2 ultimate rares, so if you guys have any ultimate rares, let me know. We run 3 Channeler. Channeler, you pitch a Harpy card, special summon a Harpy card from the deck. When there is a dragon on the field, it becomes a level 7. Harpy Perfumer, when normal or special summoned, you can add a card that lists Harpy Lady's sisters in its text. When there's a Harpy Lady that is a level 7 or higher, a level 5 or higher, I'm sorry, you can add 2 of those cards. So if you have Cyber Slash on the field, you can add Egotist and Hunting Ground, or Egotist and Feather Rest, depending on the scenario. I don't play any of those cards because as of right now, I don't need them. Then we run double Harpy Lady. Dude, DT is just so fire. We run double Harpy Lady, 1. Not the normal one. People say like, well, why don't you play Unexpected Die? It's just cloggy and it feels bad when you draw Unexpected Die and then one of the normal monsters. So you kind of really only summon these off of Egotist. If you really need to get that on the board, sometimes you use a special summon to get it on the board. But yeah, and then I guess as far as the quote-unquote Harpy engine goes, of course you play the statue. You know, I mean, statue could get banned for all we know. So then there would be things that you have to play instead of this. But as far as right now, we do that 1, 2, 3, and 3. And that's pretty standard for me, at least. I don't think anybody ever has, like, there's no set way to play this deck because as far as I know, nobody really plays it. All right, and for the trap lineup, I play, this is considered a trap in my eyes. We play triple Ash Blossom. I don't like this card, but sometimes it'll help. Sometimes if you just, your opponent is stuck on 2 monsters and they can't really extend, they'll just make Verte and then you can just Ash the Verte and then they're stuck there like looking like an idiot. And then same thing, you can just run 3 Impermanence. Impermanence is really good going first or second. 1, you can lock out a spell or trap, or 2, you can just activate it from your hand if you are going second to lock down an opponent's monster. Another good card going first and or second is Harpy's Featherstorm. Completely shuts down your opponent's activated effects. If you control a Harpy monster, you can activate it from your hand. Super OP. Definitely bannable, but not yet, at least. Then I run 2 Solemn Strike. It's just a good card, just in case you end up going first. Sometimes you kind of want to go second, but this is kind of this is mainly a going first deck build, at least. Going first main deck. And then you run 1 Revolt. I really like Revolt, but as far when I play it, I almost never search it off of Bear Broom. It's almost, I usually go into Simorglock, and then if you use the Simorglock and you search this off of, what's it called? Off of Bear Broom, you can't special summon the statue because Bear Broom locks you into Tri-Brigade monsters. And then I run 1 IO. IO is just really OP. Definitely one of the bannable cards for sure. And then for the spell cards, I run triple Hysteric Sign. Hysteric Sign searches Elegant Egotist from your deck or graveyard to hand, so it is susceptible to, what is the Ghost Sister? What is it? I forget what, I'm drawing a blank on the name of that hand trap that negates Revolt. But Hysteric Sign, super good. Also, when it is sent to the graveyard, not the turn you use the add to hand effect, but when it's sent to the graveyard, you can add 3 Harpy cards with different names from your deck to your hand. And then I run double Triple Tactics Talent. Was running it at 3, but it just feels really bad drawing 2 Triple Tactics Talent going first and your opponent has no responses. So then it's just stuck in your hand. Like, kind of just feels bad. And then for the 1-ups, I run 1 Egotist because it's searchable. 1 Feather Duster because it's Feather Duster and it's searchable. A lot of people side this in, but I decided to main it because it is searchable. And then I run 1 Called by the Grave because it's Called by the Grave. Now for the extra deck, we run, we're gonna climb down. So we run 1 Access Code because Access Code is a game winner. 1 Appaloosa, also sometimes a game winner depending on certain decks. 2 Shireg, might take this out, not completely, just might run 1, but right now the 2 of is really good. And then I run 1 Simorg. Simorg is, you don't really need to explain that. This is a card I might take out just because I run Access Code. But Doom Eagle really pushes for game, especially if your opponent If you Simorglock them and then for some reason they have no way to get a monster in the graveyard, this is 4,800 and you just poke for a game. It's basically diet access code. Then I run for the 2s, I run Harpy Conductor. Sometimes it's just the play you need to make is make Conductor. Sometimes if you know your opponent is on a heavy destruction thing, a heavy destruction deck, then you can make her pop one of your spells or traps, which is most likely Hysteric Sign, in order to protect herself. Bear Broom is the Revolt Searcher, or if you're in a tight pinch and have 2 dead cards in hand, you could send 2 to the grave, and then special summon one of your banished monsters. 1 Fergie, might bump this to 2, but 1 is fine right now. Fergie is a special summon, and then a cycle when it's into the graveyard. 1 Ancient Warrior. I always call this Double Oath, but it's nowhere near what it's called. Ancient Warrior's Oath, Double Dragon Lord. Super good, especially when you have some Simorglock. If you have some Simorglock and him on board, most of the time they're not going to get over that statue. For the Xyz monsters, I run 1 Abyss Dweller. Sometimes Abyss Dweller is just super good, especially if you're playing against like PK. 1 Chidori. 1 Pet Phantasmal Dragon. This is basically your 4 material Zeus. I understand that Lyrillus can make a like 5, 6, 7 material Zeus, but if you can push for game, not even push for game, but if your opponent has a lot of problematic cards and you shut them off, let's say Dark World or more, you can overlay, poke for no damage because it can attack directly, and then make Zeus, and then just destroy their board, which leads me to the last Xyz monster, which is Zeus. And then I run the 1 Cyber Harpy Lady because this card is really, really underrated. In response to a spell or trap, you can just balance an opponent's monster or one of your Harpy Ladies, depending on the situation. That's it for the extra deck. Now we're going straight to the sideboard. We side in, as of right now, this is what the sideboard is. We side in the 3rd copy of Solemn Strike, 1 Scythe, 1 Lancia. I'm most likely going to put Dagda into the extra deck because it's just a really good way to get these cards. But if you draw into this, you can just make a Tornado Dragon. Not a Tornado Dragon. Well, yeah, so I would have to play Tornado Dragon and Dagda because this deck usually does play Tornado Dragon. I just took it out recently, but if you can set a Scythe, make Tornado Dragon, pass turn, standby phase, use Tornado Dragon, destroy Scythe, and then lock your opponent out. And then going second, or like if I know I'm going second, I will side in things like the double Lightning Storm and 1 Raigeki. The reason I do this is because these essentially are Harpy's Feather Duster or Raigeki. So there has been times where I've tested this out and I've drawn Raigeki, Lightning Storm, and Feather Duster. So then you shotgun the Raigeki, and then if they have a negate, they'll negate it. And then because you no longer have any face-up cards, you just shoot the Lightning Storm, bam, get that out of there. Same thing with Feather Duster. There has been times where I've drawn all 3 of them, and it's kind of worked out in my favor. Again, for the going second cards, I side in 3 Gamma Seal. And then for the last of like the going second cards, I run triple Dark Ruler more. I really like this a little bit more than Forbidden Droplet. Sometimes when you need your resources, this is just better than Droplet. Droplet, you have to give up many resources if you're trying to shut down certain monsters, you know? If you're trying to shut down 4 or 5 monsters, or 2 or 3 monsters, there's 3 cards you have to discard, or 3 cards you have to send. And then if I'm going first, and I know my opponent is on a spell lineup, then I will side in the triple anti-spell fragrance. Especially when you have IO. If you draw into IO and this, you can shotgun this into anti-spell fragrance, and if they decide to shotgun a quick spell, you can just flip IO, and then your opponent will scoop most of the time. And that's pretty much it. Let's flip you back up. Okay, and that is pretty much it as far as this deck profile goes. Again, I posted this deck profile 5, 6 times already, so you guys are probably tired of seeing it. As far as decks go, this is my favorite. Definitely don't know if playing like pure Harpies is the way to go. Probably not. It is a good like shock factor, but Harpies are kind of an older deck, so most people will know how to play around it. But when you spice that in with the Tri-Brigade, it kind of is just like, whoa, There are times where I will play a Harpy hand and then they will either negate all that and then I can just go into a Tri-Brigade play, or I'll go into a Tri-Brigade play and then if they negate any of that, I'll go into a Harpy play. And then there are times where they have no responses and you just go into both Harpy and Tri-Brigade plays and you set up a crazy board. There have been times where this board can make, so there is situations where this deck can make a Simorgh with Statue, with Appaloosa with 3 negates, as well as Double Dragon Lord. So yeah. This deck is super powerful, at least in my eyes, at least how I've been playing it. If you guys have any suggestions, any questions, any concerns, any like, hey man, you're an idiot, this is not the way to go, then let me know down below. But as far as I know, this is what we have right now, and we're taking it to YCS and we're risking it all for the biscuit. But with that being said, again, one more time, if you're brand new here, appreciate you. If you're brand new here, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you leave a comment, do all that jazz. So that being said, appreciate you for coming and wasting your time here. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.